Hey folks, welcome to part 2 of the INF 1060 Bob Gleamin budget project 1. So the first part of the lesson we went through to fill in this sheet. Now we are going to actually format it and make it look a little bit nicer. So we're going to start this lesson on page EX24, and we're going to start the first part, the personal budget worksheet. You got to make sure that's highlighted, and we're going to go ahead and we need to click cell styles. So we need to click this down, and we're going to do heading 1. That's all we're doing. And then we're going to do the same thing for the second part, heading 1. We're going to highlight both of these because they actually want us to change the font in a moment to Cambria. There's going to be the same size, so I highlighted it. Cambria 14. We're going to take the bold off. So that takes us to the end of EX25. And we're doing the same thing with monthly expenses, but monthly expenses, actually, my mistake, needs to be bolded. Now, that does take us to the end of EX27. On EX28, it's asking you to change the color to light blue of personal budget worksheet. And we're going to actually change the light blue of the monthly expenses as well. And then we're going to merge this. You got to left click, highlight it all the way to the middle, and then click this button here. See where my cursor is? It says merge in center. We're going to do the same thing for the monthly expenses. Click in center. There we go. So personal budget worksheet, monthly estimates. Perfect. Looks good. We are now at the end of page EX29. So at the top of page EX30, we've already moved the things, this to the middle. We're then going to highlight the income row. We're going to do this drop down, and you want it to be heading 1. Notice it underlines it for us. And then we want to do the same thing for the expenses row. And you want to do the heading 1 style applied there as well. So heading 1 style applied to the expenses row as well. That takes us to the ends of page EX31. So A6 to N6. So A6 to N6. We're going to do the total. So we're going to click down here. There's going to be a total section right there. Total. And we're going to do this total section as well. So we're going to drop this menu down, click total. Now use steps 1 and 2 to format the N range A19 to N19. So A19 to N19. We're going to do accent 1 cell style format. So we have to do accent 1 cell style format. Use steps 1 and 2 to format A4N4. So A4N4. And we're going to do this one 20% accent 1 cell. So 20% accent 1 cell. A4N4, A9N9, accent 1 cell, A11N11, so we're kind of doing every other one it looks like, A13N13, and it should be A15, perfect. Notice how we're setting up the change of colors here. Now we're steps 1 and 2 to format A5N5 to the 40%. So this one here. Total should stay white. Now it should be A10, 40%. Now you could speed this up. You can highlight it once, hold the control button, and then highlight the next section. Hold the control button, Don't let go of control. See how I have 3 different rows highlighted that aren't connected? I can turn them to 40% all at the same time. Your total sections still remain white. So this is what we're looking for at the moment. The next part, the bottom of page EX32, we need to format numbers. Now it wants us to highlight the B5 to N5 range, so the B5 to the dividends range. We're highlighting it now. And they want us to click this button here. It's going to put the dollar signs up. Make things blank. Now the B6 to N6 range, so this one here, we want to do the comma range. Just to make sure there are commas in there. That's the top of EX33. Use steps 1 to 3 to format the ranges B9, B17, and B19. So B9, B17, 19. The accounting format. So we just put the dollar signs up. And we're going to use B10, B10, so B10 to N16. So it's basically like this box. We're doing this box here, B10 to N16, and we're going to use the comma style format. There we go. See how it did that all for us quickly? We didn't have to go changing those numbers. That takes us to the end of page EX33. Now we're adjusting the column length. We're going to click here. You're going to highlight the whole thing. You're going to double click at the A. So it automatically adjusts the width of all the columns. So now you can read everything nicely on the screen. Nothing's being overlapped. Nothing is you could do this section here to move your cursor around. So for example, you can do like D4, enter, and it moves the highlighted cell to D4. It's a faster way to get around the screen if for whatever reason your mouse isn't working. The last real part of this assignment that you're going to be submitting is the creation of the pie chart. And that is what we're starting on page EX37. So to add the pie chart to the worksheet, what we need to do is we need to select range A9 to A16. So A9 all the way to A16. Once we hold this down, you have to hold control, and you have to do the categories as well. You don't do the totals, you do the total for each category, not the overall total. So once you have a highlight that looks similar to like this on the textbook from page EX38, you need to click the Insert tab. So it's right here. And then there is a chart section. So now we have to click the chart section. And we need to do a pie chart. We want a 3D pie chart. And there we have it. It looks almost identical from the screen. And we're going to change this title. You just double click the title and you type monthly expenses. And we wanted to go style 3. So you click that little brush, click style 3. And then we want to click the move chart. And we want it to go in a new sheet. And we're going to call it monthly expenses. We click OK, and there you have it. It's on a new sheet. So there's our information. There's the pie chart. And we have to tab color. So right click it. They want us to select orange accent 2. So now you have a monthly expense sheet that is orange. Looks just like that. And that is the document that you will be submitting to me. The grading rubric is online in our Moodle shell. I will be looking at various aspects to make sure that it is done correctly. And one of the key components is the 3D pie chart in this looking, and that you have the tab changed to a different color. I'm just going to save this again. And just as a reminder, I'm going to close this off. I'm going to bring up my contact information. Give me a shout if you need help as soon as possible. Thanks, and I'll see you back for the second project in the INF 1060 series for the next video.